I think, we say this all the time. Things changing, everything changing forever. We literally have new Gorosei. Things have been changed forever. Today, we want to focus on Garling for the most part. And just in general, the ramifications and the impact of his ascension, which makes a ton of sense. So Garling in general, I think how we look at him, he's distinguished. And that's, goes back to the translation. I'm not sure if a lot of people remember this, but back then the translation for Garling, it got changed in regards to things that happened at God Valley. So he was a champion of God Valley. Then it got changed to he is somebody who distinguished himself at God Valley, because champion of God Valley, what the hell does that mean? But now we saw a glimpse of God Valley in the Kuma flashback. They were hunting rabbits. This goes back to like some speculation that Mihawk could be somebody that is from Mary Joa, because that's something that Mihawk says. You don't want to hunt a rabbit, blah, 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 blah. So this is going to tie in really well to one of my friend's theories, Sai. Sai made a very explosive theory about Shanks and Mihawk and why they could be tied at the hip, and it's deeper than we think, right? So I'll link that below. You guys can go check that out after this. Before this, doesn't matter. That's my guy. You can go watch it. But ties into that real well because I think he covered some things early on. So shout out to him. And I feel like those things are coming together really well at this point, especially with Garling, because he scared me. He walked in, right? He didn't tell him anything. It's Emu, bro. Emu, that's a power play. God damn it. That's a power play by Emu, because Emu doesn't even tell the Gorosei anything. And I want to say something as well. Shout out to my chat when I was streaming the chapter. When it first came out, somebody said, and I agree with them, Mars, once he got back, I think he ran to Emu. He ran to Emu and he told Emu, Saturn is responsible. You should punish him. When he came back, everybody, he was just sitting there like he didn't do nothing. Lies. He came back, right? And he was like, I'm not taking the fall for this. It is a shit show over there. He goes to Emu. Listen, bro, I'm not sure what's going on, but Saturn messed up. He messed up big time. That's what happened. Either way, Gorosei. We have a new Gorosei member, Saint Frigaland Garling, Shanks' dad, we presume. Now, this whole storyline, this plot line seems to be set up to incorporate Shanks in some way, because we know Garling does not give a shit about regular people. We saw what he said about Mosgard when he executed him, saying, yo, people who give a shit about trash is less than trash. It's like a warped version of Kakashi, which is interesting. So Garling is ruthless. I think this is the time that Garling comes in, and Garling is going to do something radical. I'm talking about extremely radical, because he has to make a name for himself as the warrior science god. I'm not sure if he packs up a specific country, a specific nation, because we know we had the nations that were revolting, right? And we know there are a couple that were successful. What if they use, because now they have access to the Mother Flame, what if they use, right, the ancient weapon again, but this time on all those remaining countries that have usurped their royalty, their ruler? At that point, that puts everybody on notice. And the chaos is ensuing. It's on the way, because now everyone is headed towards higher ground. Long Ring Longland, you can joke about that. Alabasta, Drum Island, Marijawa might start to see people climbing the red line. I don't know. It's just going to basically be chaos, because now people are starting to try to find their way to higher ground, because the world is sinking. It might be even more chaotic. No. It definitely will be more chaotic than when Roger announced the One Piece, because that was people going after riches, right? Those are ambitious people going after that. There's something different when people have a will to live and having to find somewhere else to live. That's going to be way more chaotic. But Garling, something about him that I think is necessary in order to maybe setting this up is the immortality. When we saw Saturn, right? Something that was clear about Saturn was that Emu was the one keeping him alive. We saw the flashback, so he was alive 200 years ago, so obviously he outlived his natural life. Saturn was being kept alive by Emu. So whatever Emu's power is, who the hell knows? But Saturn was the one, right? He was only alive because of Emu. What is that? So another thing that was confirmed, I think, in this past chapter, it's not a devil fruit power. It was just power, right? Or rather, it's not a devil fruit. It was a devil fruit power, or some twisted form of utilizing a devil fruit or warping it. So I don't think it was a devil fruit. I think Emu has a devil fruit, and with his devil fruit, he can bestow power upon other people and provide life. What devil fruit could that be? Who the heck knows what devil fruit that is that can make you live 200 years extra minimum, and give you power like that, have everyone be somewhat intertwined, be able to teleport, and now it makes more sense why he was able to summon the other Gorosei, because, well, they're all connected to Imu. Now it makes more sense why Imu stumbled, fell to the knees when Joy Boy's Haki hit the other Gorosei, because they're connected. I wonder if that's why he killed him. He's like, yo, you got me on my knees in front of company? You got me on my knees in front of... Either way, a lot of questions were kind of answered in this last chapter. Now, Garling, something I've been speculating is that Garling, he's not immortal yet, right? Because everything just somewhat transpired, Garling got the word, hey, you're promoted, walks in, boom. I don't think the time or it's happened yet where Imu bestowed the power that he's bestowed upon the other Gorosei to Garling yet. So guess what? Oda now has an opportunity to show us how immortality is achieved. Now, the interesting thing is, Oda also confirmed that immortality is also possible without the use of the Opi Opi no Mi, presumably. We're presuming that this is happening without the use of the Opi Opi no Mi. That's what I'm thinking, just because this is not a devil fruit power. Now, it could be multiple phases to this thing, where someone uses the Opi Opi no Mi, someone uses etc. It may be that, but it seems like Imu bestows power upon you that is somewhat keeping you alive. Like, how long will Moria be able to keep his shadow soldiers alive? As long as Moria is alive, I guess. And Imu, as long as the immortality surge was probably used on him, then as long as he can live, everybody else can live for as long as he wants. That's what I'm starting to think. So the immortality surgery used on Imu. Then Imu, because he's immortal, everybody else that he bestows power upon by proxy, they can live long as well. So a lot of questions, like things were just coming together slowly. It's coming. But where's the opportunity here? What I see, Garling, right now, Oda has the opportunity to show us how you make someone immortal. Show us the process, the ascension to becoming a Gorosei, how you become immortal, and also granting power. Now it's clear each of these individuals were granted that yokai power. For Garling, I think it is easily clear to see what power should be granted to him. I didn't see it before, but boy, do I see it now. And again, that ties into my guy's side video. But once he ascended as an elder, right? Because what's the elder? Five elder stars. Garling already has his hair in a moon shape, right? So when you think of that, what animal do you think of when you think of the moon? What yokai, what creature, what mythical creature? What do you think of? Yeah. A wolf? Werewolf? I think that could be what Garling gets bestowed the power of. Did some Googles, right? Because I'm not as privy to yokai lore. And they have a white werewolf called the Haken. And I thought that would be amazing for Garling, especially considering that he already has the beard, has the hair. I think he could be an amazing werewolf Haken yokai, right? And bestow that power and, whatever abilities Imu decides to bestow upon him, but that would be the form, considering he's, already has the moon thing going on, that entire theme. And also, this is from my guy Sai, he had mentioned the connection between Shanks and Mihawk is deeper than we initially think because of Garling, his connections, and him possibly transforming into a wolf, meaning Shanks has, I guess, wolf ancestry, werewolf ancestry, and Mihawk has vampire ancestry. So Dracula, Mihawk, we know of Underworld, just wolf and vampire, that's been the battle for eons. And so they are natural enemies, right? They naturally just don't get along. And so for Mihawk being Dracula, Mihawk, we don't know where he's from. The favorite card for Mihawk just got released. Where Mihawk's from, Oda omitted that. So Mihawk, could he be from Mary Joa, from a different family, a Dracula family, right? Where that's their motif. Who knows? But at this point, that's something that could be interesting, that could lead to, okay, he transforms into a wolf. Shanks has wolf ancestry. Mihawk has, vampire ancestry. And that could lead to like their conflict in general, right? Or maybe that's why they somewhat get along, because they're going against their family wishes. Who knows? But I thought that was really interesting. But still, I think we're at a place right now where it's unprecedented because there's so much change happening. I'm ready for the reactions from everyone around the world, because now Gorosei is dead. There's another key thing to also pinpoint here is that what is Katarina Devon going to do, right? What is Blackbeard going to do now? Well, because they're not going to know that Saturn is dead. The Vice Admiral was definitely not saying nothing. The last time Doberman said something, he almost died. And an Elder Star, he died. So the Vice Admirals, they're like, Daw might tell Smoker though. That's it. But other than that, people are going to keep this close to the vest. And I think we're headed towards, like, I want to say an insane stretch in One Piece where I wonder what Shanks feels about the Vegapunk message. Did he know this was coming? Is this why he was just teetering and buying time because he saw all this coming? More than likely. How does this all culminate? How does this all culminate into what we expect Elbaf to be and then post Elbaf? Because we've always had a trajectory in our mind, right? Elbaf was always at the end of that. But when we go past Elbaf, are we Lodestar? We go straight to Laugh Tale? We go to world government? What's the final thing? Those are things we have to parse through. But for right now, be very mindful, be very afraid of Garling because he is ambitious. He's young blood because remember the Gorosei, they're all old as hell. But he's technically young blood within this sphere. And also somebody to pay attention to is the successor of Garling. Shanks' brother, cousin, whoever the hell it is, Stabs, if you want to call him Lanks, whomever it is, he's somebody that's young blood as well, now going to be the leader of the God Knights. Radicalism. I expect things to be changing. And now, I'm not going to lie, I would not be surprised if Akainu leaves the desk or be forced to. Someone had asked me as well, when is Akainu or someone going to initiate the separation of powers? I don't know. That's a very, very murky territory because when you talk about separation from the world government, access to different things, it's going to be a hostile takeover, right? It's so many moving parts. If they decide to separate from the world government, you now have a battle on all fronts. And now some Marines, they have to pick a side. I think we're already there where some Marines got to pick a side anyway. Some don't want to, right? Some are just content. Doberman, even Rob Lucci's starting to ask questions. Is it true? But everything is going on. Can we? Guys, we got a lot to talk about and we're going to have more focused specific topics. One we definitely have to talk about is a subscribe button, right? If you haven't subscribed, click that button so that you can stay up to date to the information. I know sometimes YouTube doesn't like send these things out, but just put it there. That's a closer at least to getting the content. But also seriously, like the video, subscribe. We're gonna talk about bounties as well because I think bounty raises are coming quickly for a lot of these characters. Like they need it. In my opinion, they all need bounty raises. What they just did, what they just accomplished, and not just the Straw Hats, by the way, other characters too. So yeah. Follow me on Twitter at BrogDAce. Follow me on Instagram, BrogD.Ace. Thank you to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. If you want to check out a Patreon, it's down below. So much good stuff you're watching. Watching Dragon Ball right now, episode 95. The Second World Tournament. Shout out to Tien. The first time experiencing Dragon Ball. It's just insanity. Watching other things like The Bear, Peaky Blinder. It's below. Again, more to come. Much more to come. But we'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.